Hello, it's Bob Kreitler. This will be the first of a series of videos laying out mostly the events from April of 2024 all the way up until the present day. There'll be a few videos, a few areas that touch on some of the background leading up to things that happened then, and a few of them that have to do with some other things that are remotely related to this, that whenever you understand them, you kind of get a bigger picture for what's going on too. But anyway, here's my story from how I see it, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I've been a member of the scouting program and the WD Boys Council for over 36 years. I went from a Tiger Cub in first grade all the way to Eagle Scout with a Silver Palm. This is by the time I turned 18, obviously. And I became a member of the Order of the Arrow and was selected for the Vigil Honor back in 2016. I was selected as a 2021 Crossroads District Advisor of the Year, receiving a District Award of Merit in 2010. I've been an Assistant Scoutmaster since turning 18, a Cub Master, a Den Leader on 2 different occasions, a committee member for 2 different troops, District Roundtable Commissioner for a couple of years, almost 3 years actually there, Merit Badge Counselor for, oh God, I couldn't even get to tell you how many years, and I was a crew advisor for 10 years. The only role that I've never had was Scoutmaster in town. Is kind of a role that I'd always wanted ever since I was younger, but doesn't look like I'll ever get to be that now. I've also received 5 Eagle Mentor Pins, which if you've never gotten one, you may or may not know what they are, but those of us that have got them, they are very, very precious and mean a lot to the ones of us that have been fortunate to get one. Over the years, I've helped countless numbers of youth on their path to Eagle and leading, good lives, be good citizens in the community and all that. I cannot begin to count the number of nights I've camped out, the events, meetings attended, or the hours spent that I've put into the program and been dedicated to the Clinton and the youth area, to the youth in the Clinton area, surrounding area, council. I mean, even kids have called me, a good distance away, and I've been able to help them out, Merit Badge Counselor wise and stuff. Scouting was a way of life for me, and I basically structured almost everything around it. I wouldn't take some certain jobs, because it'd take me away from it. Anyone that's been in the program for a long time, you'll understand what I mean by that. On April 16th, 2024, Ben Blumenberg, in coordination with Ron Armstrong and Sherry Miner, took that all away from me. They accomplished this through lies, deception, intimidation, and abuse of power. Their actions were not limited to just hurting me. They came after every member of my immediate family and even the venture crew that I was advisor for. When I mean every member of my immediate family, I mean they even went after and caused problems for my 85-year-old elderly mother. And this is specifically aimed at Ben Blumenberg. His conduct toward my 85-year-old mother was appalling, and it's despicable what he had been, his conduct toward her. Outright lying to her, to yelling at her on the phone when she is pleading with him to explain what went on, and he just starts yelling at her and then hangs up the phone when she's trying to get an explanation, and she has me on the phone. She has me sitting right next to her to help her because she's hard of hearing and she has a hard time understanding, and he has already lied to her more than once, and she did absolutely nothing to this man, and he has taken his hateful spite out on her ever since the first meeting, the first time he had ever met her in June of 24. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what Ben Blumenberg has done to her, and we'll go into greater detail about what he has done later on, though. When I meant that they came after the venturing crew, I meant that with absolutely no warning, no reason given to anyone, Ben Blumenberg just immediately expired the charter on the venturing crew for no reason. He still, to this day, refuses to give a legitimate reason other than the saying that the venture crew was the problem the entire time. And he based that off of just some crazy information that was given to him by some people that hated that crew and wanted that crew destroyed. We pretty much figured out who it was, and it's the same. It looks like it's probably the same people that were giving me a lot of hassle. It looks like they just wanted to go and hurt me, hurt everything around me, and that crew was just one of the fortunate ones, and they found someone in Ben Blumenberg that looks like he shared their hatred and wanted to come after him. So if anyone ever thinks that he is an innocent person, he's a great guy, I urge you to watch these videos. I urge you to ask him what happened down here, and see what he says. Because what we're talking about is true. We've got the emails to back it up. We have witnesses that heard it, seen it happen, and whatever fairy tale he's going to try to spin to you is it's just that, it's a fairy tale. Anyway, their actions and conduct are completely inexcusable. This is not Scout-like at all, and to be honest, I don't even see how they could really even call themselves Scouts anymore, especially Ben Blumenberg. His conduct is absolutely disgusting. I think I've seen the true Ben Blumenberg, and it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant, and this guy gets paid to be a scout. He gets paid to be a scout, and this is how he acts. So they demonstrated truly just absolutely disgusting patterns, and this appears to be acceptable in the scouting organization now. It's strayed so far away from what its true intentions were, and as a paid representative of it, as the head of the council, his actions, his statements, his conduct represents that council. Anything he says or does represents that council. These are the ideals that council holds per Ben Blumenberg. He's the head of the council, and he's saying and doing all this stuff. So his actions reflect what that council wants to portray to the world. I mean, they're paying this guy almost $200,000 a year. So if this is not the image that they wish to portray of the council, wow, they're really overpaying here, It's a long story to tell you. We're going to break it up into several parts. Some of these parts, like I was saying before, it's going to be some background that tie in the overall story, and others paint a picture of the ABD Boys Council and scouting as a whole. All these are intertwined together to form a sequence of events that have been unfolding since April 2024 and continue up to the present day. Now, some of the stuff that we're going to tell you, we're going to show you, these are documents that have been turned into the IRS. They've been turned into the state of Illinois. But these are official documents that Deputy Boys Council, Ben Blumenberg, and Nat file with the federal government and state government and various other agencies. So if these documents do not portray a accurate image of the council, I would be surprised, because these are the documents that they are officially filing with the federal government, with all these government agencies. And if they are not accurate, that can indicate some illegal activity that's been going on. And that could be a lot of other serious charges there, infractions there. So if they're being dishonest in how they're filing these documents, or these documents really do portray what's going on in that council. And I think whenever you see some of the stuff, it's going to be kind of shocking to some people. I've exhausted every internal avenue to resolve this situation with no success. The situation that has been going on since April of 2024, we cannot fix it. Deputy, in the current situation with the current people in place, there's no interest in getting this fixed. Deputy Boyce Council Executive Ben Bloomberg appears to have sabotaged every avenue of appeal and actively done things to further destroy any options for return to the program that I've dedicated so much to. I believe even before the first phone call on April 16th, he held some personal vendetta against me. The comments he has made and the extent of his actions support this conclusion. I believe that Ron Armstrong and Sherry Minor saw an opportunity to destroy a person. They jumped on it. Both have held long-standing grudges and continue to antagonize the situation at every opportunity. All three people weaponize the scouting program to lash out at people they have personal issues with. I guess you must admire their teamwork. So, in case you haven't figured it out, I have been permanently banned from Scouts after 36 years, based off the conduct of these three people primarily. The comments and statements that they have made have been the primary driving factor that have done it. What I will call at best a slipshod in so-called investigation that was extremely biased, conducted by Ben Blumenberg, was what did it all. He conducted some supposed investigation. We don't even know what he investigated. He refuses to provide any information. He won't even tell me all the stuff that he's used against me. It's disgusting. Won't say who he's talked to. Won't say what they said. It was just. I guess if you call it an investigation, I wouldn't even call it an investigation. He won't even tell me what all stuff that he won't even say what all he's saying that I did. We got vague things about it, and then on this, I was expected to defend myself based off of vague charges, and this is not even all that he's used against me. There's other stuff out there that he's used against me that he won't even discuss. He made even more charges against me back in November, and he refuses to even go into detail. He won't even speak to me about it anymore. Now, this is before a lot of other stuff happened. But anyway, due to the ongoing failures to handle this fairly and with an unbiased due process, I've been forced to file lawsuits and expose their actions publicly to seek justice. This is not how things should be resolved in an American organization that claims to cherish American ideals and hold its members to the highest expectations. We are supposed to be better than this. Ben Blumenberg is a fellow Eagle Scout and a Vigil member. He had every opportunity to demonstrate those ideals, and he utterly failed. Ron Armstrong and Sherry Minor both hold positions that should be respected in the community. The community should be ashamed of their conduct. We'll get into more of their conduct later on, but whenever we start getting into it, be ready to pick your jaws up off the floor, folks, because it's disgusting. It's appalling what these two have, and their reputations in the community. Whenever you say their names, I spoke to some people just last night. I said their name, and they rolled their eyes. They rolled their eyes and said, "Oh boy, those two." So, yeah. all three, instead of working this thing out, trying to be proper people even, they took the opportunity to burn people to the ground and stomp on the ashes, all while the Scout program supported their actions. I mean, the Scout program enshrined their actions, said, yep, that's all golden. And it's pretty disgusting, actually, whenever you start looking at it. You start seeing some of the statements that have been made about it. And this is just the statements that I've got a hold of so far. I suspect as the lawsuit goes on, I'm going to see a lot more here. I do not take these actions lightly, nor do I enjoy resorting to these extremes to seek justice that an American should expect to receive. Scouting organization has had an extremely challenging time over the last 10 years. The sexual abuse scandal, the 2020 mess, and the change in American culture, they deliver some harsh blows to this organization. It's been difficult for a 115-year-old organization to just keep adapting to this stuff, and they've struggled in some respects. The membership numbers alone show that clearly. It's not the program that it once was, and they've struggled through the sexual abuse scandal. The bankruptcy has been it has really attacked the heart and soul of the program. However, my faith never wavered in the organization. I still feel it can produce some exceptional leaders and citizens in our country. In fact, at a local level, in the individual troops, there is extraordinary potential for young men and women to both develop exceptional leadership capability and citizenship skills and life skills to get along in the world. A former scoutmaster that I used to work with, he would jokingly refer to that scouting teaches all the skills except for laundry and sewing that youth need to get out and stay out of their parents' homes. I still believe it. I believe it. He used that kind of as a sales pitch for parents to, say, hey, yeah, this is a good thing for my kids to get into here. Learn to get out of my house and stay out. However, there are some very serious troubling aspects that I've noticed since 2004. I'm sorry, not 2004, 2024. One is my experience. Probably the most disturbing thing about this whole thing is this is not an isolated experience. This is not an isolated incident. There are others have been subjected to similar nightmares at the hands of their council executives and other sadistic people. Like me, these people had no recourse. Most never even knew the specifics of the charges against them. The organization aware that if they can stretch out the so-called review and appeal process for a year, so if they ever throw you out or anything like that, they had this review and appeal, investigation, all this garbage process. Basically, all they want to do, the main intent of this is that we can figure it. The most logical intention of this is they want to drag this thing out. They want to drag it out as long as they can, because most of the time the statute of limitations in a state is about 1 year for slander, libel, defamation of character. So if they can drag this appeal process out for a year or more, no one can be sued. They can get away with whatever they want, and you have no legal recourse to fight them. They decided mine a little quicker, I think, because I think they figured that a lawsuit was coming in no matter what. Whenever we start going in, digging into the weeds about this, you're gonna be saying, yeah, you really should have sued them. They deserve it. And even these lawsuits, whenever we start going into a little bit what details we can go into about the lawsuits, you're going to be appalled, especially if you are an adult member of David D. Boyce Council, And the scouts, if you're a former scout, if you're a present day scout, whatever, when you start finding out some of the details about some of this stuff, you're going to be really pissed. Some people are just going to be flat out pissed off. The amount of money that this council is spending to fight this, especially after I've offered them offers to go and resolve it right then with no monetary, nothing involved. And they've refused it. They have flat refused it. They still continue to refuse it. Ben Blumenberg flat ignored some of those offers. Refused to speak about it, refused to do anything about it, and insisted that he was in the right, I was in the wrong. So they refuse this, and most of the time, they're not going to go into any details about any of the charges, because the first instinct, it seems, of the scouts is to cover up and hide everything. Whenever you watch the Netflix documentary, if you haven't watched it already, I'd encourage you to watch it. It makes logical sense as to why they do some of the stuff they do and how they've done it to me. And it just the first instinct always seems to be to cover it up and hide everything, deny everything, fight to the end, spend thousands of dollars fighting with a person. And even in that Netflix documentary, they were intimidating people that were victims of stuff. And the organization's first instinct was to hide this stuff, and it'll make you disgust. It'll make you disgusted. It'll make you enraged. Anyway, there have been a few people that fought them and won. I've actually been speaking to one of them that fought them and spent tens of thousands of dollars fighting the scouts in court. And it was over a total BS charge. And the scouts dug in their heels and fought him and his kids over this. I know he spent tens of thousands of dollars fighting him. I can only imagine that the scouts probably spent about the same fighting. And then they finally just threw in the towel and let him back in. Let him and the kid back in. So if they let them all back in and all that, their case was probably BS to begin with. They hide behind, we're protecting the youth, If you have an individual that is willing to fight you and that feels that their case is just enough and they're going to spend that amount of money to fight with you and they're actually going to put in the effort to fight you, the person's probably innocent. Why would a guilty person spend all that time and effort and treasure to fight and do that? It doesn't make sense. They're fighting based off the principle that what was done to them was wrong, just like I am. This was wrong. This is wrong. And later on, when we start getting into some more of the details about it, you'll see where this is wrong. You'll see where this is wrong all the way. And I encourage anybody that thinks this is wrong, thinks it's unethical, start calling. Start making calls. Start sending letters. And we're going to start putting addresses and phone numbers up where you can start calling. And just don't let up. The only way this is going to get fixed is political pressure. It's got to be public political pressure on them to do the right thing. It's sad that we got to go this route, but this is what has to happen sometimes. So the scouts ended up settling on all these cases. All these cases that I talk about where people were fighting and fought them, they didn't let this thing go to a final judgment. They did not. They ended up settling before the case went all the way through and a judge brought that gavel down on them. My guess is they probably didn't want to have the negative public image it would present. A case that settles out of court or settles sometime in the middle of the case gets swept underneath the rug a little bit quicker than when the judge brings that gavel down and rules against them. Because when that judge brings that gavel down and rules against them, all that stuff's public knowledge. if they can settle that case without having an actual judgment against them, they can hide stuff. And that seems to be what this organization really likes to do, is hide stuff. So, closing here, no one should ever suffer like this at the hands of this organization. No one should be deprived of their rights that we enjoy as American by an organization as American in name. It's Boy Scouts of America, Scouting America, Scouts BSA, America, which means American rights are baked into this. You know, you have a right of due process. And as Scouts, your due process is a joke. You really don't have much of one. They make it up as they go along. You get a biased so-called investigation by someone that's investigating it. He's your judge, the jury, and he's also your executioner. You don't even have really a good way to go up there and even hear what all's being used against you. They won't even tell you. They won't even tell you who said you did something. They won't even they will not even tell you what they say you claim you did. They'll just make a vague thing, say, well, you violated Scout or Code of Conduct. Okay, well, what part of it? Well, we can't tell you. Well, what did you say that I did? Well, we can't tell you. So what can you tell me? Well, you violated that code. You violated that. Okay. And then they said, well, you made threats. We had an allegation that you made threats. Okay. Who are you saying I threatened? Well, we can't tell you. What threat are you saying that I made? Well, we can't tell you. Do you have any proof of this? Well, we can't tell you. Okay. Well, this person said that you verbally abused them. What person? Well, we can't really tell you all that. Well, what was verbal abuse? What are you considering verbal abuse? Well, we can't really tell you because we have to protect that person, you know? No, you've got something that you're just blowing up and spinning it out of proportion. And then they had two other things. One of them, they claimed that I had violated youth protection. Okay, well, what are you saying that I did? Well, we can't tell you. And then they tell other people that there were no violations of youth protection. None at all. None at all. And they told more than one person this, but yet they say that I had violated it. And then the violation of youth protection that they said I did, they're accusing me of a felony. They are accusing me of a felony. And they can't produce any, they have no evidence because there is no evidence because nothing happened. But yet they claim that they have evidence that this happened. They claim that I did it. They claim that, you know, but the thing that really bothers you is it's like, if they have, if their claim that I was doing this stuff happened, then these are mandated reporters. They're supposed to be reporting this. They never reported it. They didn't report any law enforcement. So either A, they're participating in a cover-up, or B, nothing happened. It was B. Nothing happened. Because they've already said nothing happened, but yet they said that they have allegations. But it makes no sense. Then they said that there was a history of outbursts. What are you talking about? A person that has passion for something, a person that cares. Yeah, they're going to show emotions about stuff because they care. They care about the kids. They care about the program. They care about the integrity of everything. They're going to be passionate. They're going to show it. They're going to disagree with some people, and disagreements happen. So what? And they won't even tell me what this is. They cooked up these last two things here at the end, and they never even asked me about them. I have no idea what they're talking about. When I asked them about it, crickets. Absolute crickets. A refusal from Ben Blumenberg to go into any detail, to do anything about it. But yet I'm supposed to adequately defend myself. against this when they won't even tell me what it is exactly. What they won't even say. Anyway, but so nobody should be treated like this. After I get my story all completed, I hope to bring to light some of the other ones out there, because I know I am not the only one that has had this happen. I've already spoken to some other people that have had stuff like this happen to them. That they've had disagreements with the scouting executive over finances. And he cooked up a thing and said, "Oh, you violated Scouter Code of Conduct, get out." And no recourse. Same thing happened, almost verbatim. We want to get justice for other people. We're not just going to stop with me. Other people out there deserve justice from this organization. And they shouldn't be allowed to get away with, oh, we took a bankruptcy, you can't do anything to us. Oh, it's been too long, you can't do anything to you. No, but we can go and put your stories out there. These people are not going to suffer alone. They're not going to suffer quietly. I've heard stories of 50-year scoutmasters that they have destroyed them. And no recourse, no nothing. They just destroyed them, thrown them out. They're not suffering alone. Someone's going to hear them, and if nothing else, we're going to make this public, and we're going to make it known what the organization has done to them, what individual executives have done, and we're going to seek justice for everybody. So that's the end of part 1. And we're going to have part 2, hopefully in about a week or so. Thanks. Bye.